Hello. I'm sorry about the delay. I was just grabbing my headphones because I'm watching one of my friends be live at the same time as doing this, so he gets all the views count. I see there's someone else watching at the moment. I don't know if it's... Hello. Oh my gosh. So, nothing much. I'm going to be doing schoolwork on this stream. Sorry, I'm just adjusting things around and moving. But yes. Hello, Becca. Hello, Tish. I'm going to be, like I said, doing schoolwork today. I was planning on doing some makeup, and sorry for the birds making noise in the background. But, yeah, I was going to be doing makeup, but my eye decided to betray me and just gave me irritation last night. So I ended up not doing makeup. I'm doing in Australia an online course. I'm studying to receive a Certificate 3 in Community Services. So essentially I'll be, it's a broad spectrum course, but it gives me the ability to work with people with disabilities, work with children, work with like various types of vulnerable people. Where I live in Australia, there's a large amount of people with disabilities and elderly people, especially in like my area of Tasmania. So it's a job market that is needed to be filled, and I found that it interests me enough, and it's something I'm passionate enough that I'd like to actually do. So I'm studying that, and all of my course is done on my phone. There are some people that do it in a actual like place. Oh my god, YouTube. Yeah, there are some people that actually do it somewhere on the mainland, but because I'm not on the mainland of Australia, I don't. YouTube, what? Exactly. But carrying on. Make all the noise. I'm not okay. But yeah, so I don't know how likely I will be to work with people like, say, who are autistic or fall on any other part of the spectrum, because I believe that would need me to do a second course that is more streamlined and specific to like a specific target audience. My current course is like a broad spectrum type thing. And as part of my course, I also have to do a job placement. And I'm hoping my job placement will essentially be something like working with the elderly or something like that, where through the work placement, they can see that I'm a competent enough worker where they can just offer me a job, because, you know, that would be the dream. But obviously that isn't realistic. It'd be nice, but it's not realistic. But we shall see. Oh my god, I cannot reach. It's too short. I noticed, so I have a ring light going behind me. It's the ring light I use for filming, but I find that it just helps illuminate me enough for this camera, because I'm using my laptop while I obviously have my phone in my hand. Yeah, hi. Hello. Yes. Yes, I'm sorry in advance if the birds are loud. They just like to keep on screaming and screaming. Don't you guys? I'm just going to add an addendum. Warning. Pet birds may scream randomly. Oh, nice. Are you editing one of those? What was it like? I feel like I want to say 9 or something crazy like that. Videos. You mentioned that you filmed a ton of videos last time I was in a live and I saw you, Tish. So I'm assuming you're editing one of the many videos you've got filmed. And hello, Joe. Did you want to hop up on here? I can send you the link. It's all good. Jeffrey, it's okay. I like the autocorrect to Jeffrey 6. It's like laptop knows. 10. I was just exhausted after editing my long video that you commented on. The makeup collection tour. I had 90 minutes of straight footage for that video. And 40 of those 90 minutes, I was holding my camera in my hands and I had my ring light attached to the camera. So it was very much an arm workout while I was filming all of the makeup. But I had to do it to get them sweet shots. And I do think I did get some nice shots. So it was kind of worth the pain in the end. I'm drinking an energy drink, by the way. I don't think you guys have this in the US. I believe this is actually an Australian brand. I want to say it is. A V. Yeah, I believe it is Australian. This one's more like lolly water than an actual energy drink, but I enjoy the flavour. It doesn't give me energy. Cool. I just posted it in the chat though. Can you see that? Hopefully you shouldn't have any issues because you set up your phone last time. Oh, yay. Fingers crossed it has no issues. I can hear you, so...
You can hear me?
Yes, I can.
Awesome.
Birds. As soon as the birds heard you, they're like, oh, person.
Yeah, my cats do not like your birds. Every time they hear them, they run.
I guess all we need then is to do a live stream or for me to be on FaceTime with you whenever you're filming, set the phone somewhere nearby, and then just get the birds to scream for a couple minutes, and then you'll be good. You won't have to come in through. Tish says hi, Joe.
I've got my other phone on.
Oh, do you?
See,
I'm supposed to be upgrading my phones on my plan. What was that, sorry?
My autocorrect on my old phone is going nuts.
It's usually the way. No, I'm hoping in the next couple of months because my 2-year contract with this phone runs out, so I'll be able to renew it and I get a whole new phone. I get to keep this as well. So I'm going to be going crazy with some content things because this can do slow motion video. I'm thinking of doing some weird videos where I can have phones doing multiple angles while filming with the main camera and just being even crazier with content because why not?
Ooh, it's a lot of light.
See, you're doing what I'm doing. I've got my ring light currently going too. It makes it so much better.
Oh yeah, this has made a huge difference in my videos.
Because I've noticed your videos are much more consistent with lighting and you don't have the issue where it keeps on lightening and darkening like it would before. And that ring light seems to combat the window behind you too, so you're not having the issues anymore like that.
Right. How are you, Tish? I gotta try to remember to vape off screen. I found out that YouTube doesn't like that.
I don't know, because I've seen monetized channels dedicated to like vaping. I don't know if it's like if you're specifically mentioning that it is marijuana. I think that's when it can be an issue. But who am I? The only person I ever see smoking at all ever on a live is usually Shelley, and Shelley doesn't care about being monetized. She
No.
doesn't post content, so I'm sure it doesn't bother her. Birds, hi. I've uploading videos is always a struggle, Tish, because I usually like edit all on my phone. I like to edit sometimes on my laptop if the video's footage itself I need to do color correcting in. I've sometimes had to do that. Pardon me. But I've found that my phone sometimes doesn't like videos if they're longer than like 20 minutes. It starts to freak out a bit, especially because I'm usually making a 20-minute long video from like 90 plus minutes of footage. So it's trying to process 90 minutes of footage all at once. So I don't think it doesn't like it that much. But the phone makes do, and the phone gets the job done. And I found then equally when I've been trying to upload, funnily enough, it works better on the iPhone. It's just is faster. But I've noticed YouTube does this weird thing that once it's uploaded, it processes for a while, because I think it goes through the footage and then uploads it in the different qualities, because you can view most people's videos in like 140p, 240p, 360p, 480p, etc., all the way up to whatever the limit is of the person's content they uploaded. I don't know. Some people might be able to view my videos in 4K, because technically some of my videos are shot in 4K, but like on my iPhone and on my laptop, mine only processes them at 1080p on my end. Like whenever I choose to upscale it, I only get an upper limit of 1080p. But the video footage, at least when I uploaded it, it does register as 4K content. So
I don't know how you do those long videos and edit down. Like my videos all the way through might be 30 minutes and I might edit down to 23. You go in and you're like, I'm going to film all day and then turn it into a 20-minute video.
I don't know how it really is a skill. I guess it's a lot of the time when I'm filming. I was saying to one of the new friends that I've made through YouTube, oh my gosh, you two. I was saying that a lot of the time I'll repeat the same sentence a few times, but I'll be doing different things with each sentence. So what I can do in post is essentially cut between the three or multiple different things I'm doing, but I can cut at certain points in the sentence and I can edit it together so it sounds like it's just one normal sentence, but in actuality it's like me repeating myself multiple times and I'm just picking and choosing which part. Like, I don't know if you or anyone's even noticed, but there's a point where I'm talking about the makeup that I got from Kmart, the foundation and the concealers. It's some of the last items that I talk about that's at the top of the thing. I actually misspoke when I was filming, and I took audio from another part of the video and edited it in. So that whole sentence is an edited sentence. I didn't actually say any of that. It's all edited from other things, but I did it almost in a way where you can't really tell.
Right.
It's like,
that's cool, man.
It's so stressful sometimes.
I just don't have the patience. I'm just not a patient person.
I get that. It does take a lot of time. I'm just sad. Oh, also, one of my friends informed me, and we have to hate Jeffrey even more now. Turns out Orgy, the palette, it's a lot more cool tones than we thought. So it actually looks a lot more prettier in person than we thought it was. And I'm like, oh no.
I don't need any neutrals.
Oh, it's not neutral. Like, it's not like what we expected. It's actually all cool tone browns. Like, it's a cool tone palette.
I don't need any browns.
I know I don't need any cool tone browns too, but I like actually looking at them. I don't have them browns, which is the sad part. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, our Kmart closed too, Tish. Is Kmart big there, James?
What was that? Sorry.
Is Kmart big there?
Yes, our Kmart's a completely different company to your Kmart, though.
Oh, you told me that. That's right.
Yeah, our Kmart is like your version of Walmart. I don't know what Kmart's like in the US, but it is very much like it's got clothing, electronics, bedding, furniture. It's got everything or a little bit of everything all in one store. And I'm pretty sure it's a separate entity to the one in the US, like how Sephora in Australia is a separate entity to the Sephora in the US, which still boggles my mind because they technically use the same app and they technically share a lot of the same brands. It's just that some of the brands that Sephora usually stocks, Mecca got exclusivity rights to. So, like,
there's things that you've found on your Sephora that weren't on mine. Because I remember you had told me to look up something, and I'm like, I am, but it is not there.
I believe it was one of the Pat McGrath palettes because it was when I got the Metamorphosis palette that had the 3 and they were limited edition, and the US didn't have them, but apparently Australia had them at the time, and I ended up buying one. So
yeah, I used this is what I cut out all the time is me turning around because I do that shit. Oh, I mean, I do that stuff all the time.
Well, I don't really care that much. They're not watching little old me that harshly.
I've tried so hard to keep my family friendly, but I have such a sailor mouth.
I feel like the majority of the time when I'm filming, I'm usually pretty family friendly. But then
you are.
I sometimes do swear. And that's not even me editing it out. I just naturally, when I'm filming, I more film with the thought process of I'm explaining it to a person rather than just talking. And when I'm explaining something to someone, I'm not swearing every second or third word, you know.
Right.
It doesn't make sense to be saying fucking and shit and cunt and all that fun stuff when you're showing them.
That Jeffrey is editing his videos.
Mm.
I can't believe he's not letting the cuss words through. That blows my mind.
Yeah.
Hey, but he's got to get paid.
Yeah. I don't know. I get it.
I used this gold today. I love this little palette.
I despise you for having that palette. I love that thing. That is like a Nocturnal Nirvana is like the only quad from Pat that really genuinely like captured my interest. And it was the only one that was sold out by the time that I went to Sephora and it was on sale on Sephora. Like I could have gotten
That's what happened to me. But Pat McGrath then put it on sale on her site. I grabbed it up.
You should. That's.
I just can't make myself buy the stuff unless I have Sephora cash, coupons, or it's on sale. I don't know if it's the cheap side of me. As much as I love her formula, I just can't do it without a discount.
Yeah. I mean, I've been very tempted to buy more of her stuff when they've been discounted on Sephora. I'm just looking for a Sephora right now because YOLO. I should be studying. I can get to that in a minute. But whenever I've been on her side of Sephora, like right now, some of her lipsticks and her lip balms are on sale. And I've like the new collection that she announced, the rose one, the new 6-pan. No, like
So bad.
I don't know about you, but like I literally like everything from that collection. There isn't a shade of like a lip product or anything that I didn't like from that. Like, I could genuinely buy it all and it would be bad. It's so bad.
I've looked at it so many times.
The new packaging, the purple packaging, and it's not like a true purple, it's a strange off purple, and it's really pretty.
Oh, I love it so much.
That's why when I first saw it, I sent a message to you saying "fuck Pat McGrath."
And I was like, okay, is this about the new launch or did something happen?
The new launch, it is stunning. Yeah.
Has anybody heard from Nicole today?
I have not heard from Nicole today, but I do believe she was online earlier.
Yeah, I tried to message her when she was online, but she didn't respond.
Yeah, we messaged a little bit last night because she after the live she told me, or she sent the link to Ruby May Cosmetics. I didn't see that you had sent it to me also, so she sent it through to me, and I'm like, oh, thank you, I'd forgotten, and then I realised that you sent it, and I just told her that I had uploaded the video, got it all edited and sorted out, type of thing, and then she was just saying that she's gonna go to sleep and all sorts, and I just wished her a good night's sleep and all that fun stuff, and that's the last I heard from her, and she was active 28 minutes ago, according to Instagram.
Yeah, Tish, I suck at thumbnails. I'm just not gonna lie. I'll get better. I know how to be better. I'm just not patient enough to do it.
My last two thumbnails have been a lot of fun for me. So the one for my Mecha Fantasy Basket, that was kind of a screen grab from the video, and then I just edited some of the photos that I used for my actual video into that like grab to be like a thumbnail. But then I know, isn't it very pretty? I love the blue with the pairing with the gold on the lids. It looks like it's a little bit of a gold. It looks beautiful. But the one that I used for my makeup collection video, I literally spent a good hour setting up my my tripod and camera in like this weird precarious angle, so I got the right framing of all of my makeup, and then I took like 7 or 8 different photos of me in different poses, all within the frame, and then I photoshopped multiple photos together to make that thumbnail. So I literally
Somebody needs to see your stuff because yours is exquisite.
No,
And
it's
yours
not.
is no joke. I mean, you do better than a lot of the ones that have, 10 million subscribers. Yours is better than that.
I feel
and they
like
have people editing for them.
I at the very least feel like my videos are a bit more fun to watch. I feel like a lot of the bigger YouTubers, while they have fancy editing, I feel like it's a bit stale now. Their content feels like rinse, repeat. They're making it for the sake of making it, while I'm literally just making the content for fun. But I guess they are making it to make money, and making money does change things for you. But
well, I don't know when she said it, but Raw Beauty Christie said one time that sometimes it sucks that every time she puts on makeup, she's like, "Oh, I better film it."
Mm-hmm. I mean, I get that too, and I've been.
Just like this today, I haven't posted it yet, but I filmed this look because what if one day I don't feel good? I'll have one in backup.
Yeah, that's what I used to try and do with like looks on Instagram, and then I just stopped doing that, and I was going to do similar with YouTube videos, and then I stopped doing YouTube, but now I'm starting to pick up momentum. So I guess because the dream would be to, like, once I get back into the workforce, is to be able to afford enough where I can buy between like $50 and $75 worth of like makeup every 1 or 2 weeks, and just do like a random little haul video, and also get like some subscription boxes so I can do or have something that forces me to be consistent with uploads, because I find my biggest issue is that I personally am not interested enough in just filming like a get ready with me type video where I'm just playing with makeup or just
Right.
or with old makeup. Like I like to do things where I'm playing with a brand new item. I like to show off new things, or I like to have a purpose with the video. There's nothing wrong with it, and I'm not saying I won't do it, because ultimately I'm probably going to do little short videos where it's literally like a video that I can edit down to 5 minutes long, where it's literally just me doing a basic eye look and chatting about something random. But ultimately, like, I feel like I much prefer doing the longer, like 15 to 30-minute long videos where it's like a video with an actual purpose for it.
Right.
And it's difficult because that also does take a lot of time. Like, I enjoy doing it, but the video that I uploaded, that took me like 4 or 5 hours of editing, probably. And that is including the time it took to actually edit the thumbnail. That's not including the time to film the video, and that was 90 minutes of footage. So that's an hour and a half of filming time. So
Right.
an hour of filming, and then I've got 6-ish hours of like editing and other stuff. So you could say about 7-8 hours. So it's a full day's worth of work, literally, for just that one video. And that was
That's
a basic.
why I think you need to get monetized and stick with this, because you need to be paid for doing. I mean, I'm doing something for fun. You're doing like professional crap, man.
I feel like it's just the quality of the footage. That's what really changes it. Like, I don't feel like it is professional in the sense of like it's not in a nice big studio. It just looks nice because I spent a little bit of money to get some nicer equipment. And I feel sometimes like I do the equipment, I do have an injustice by just being so like all over the place and sporadic with actually using it. Because I mean, most of the time my camera just sits on the tripod with this little camera cap on it, because I obviously want to keep it clean and make sure it doesn't get hurt or whatever. And it's a gorgeous camera, like, and I didn't spend a lot of money on it. Like, I haven't spent crazy amounts of money. I'd be a lot more inclined to be filming all the time if I spent, $1,000+ on the actual film setup. But realistically, I've only spent like $300. I kind of repurposed an area in my lounge room.
I'm filming my kitchen area, Tish.
Hey, make use wherever you have it. Like, I repurposed a part of my lounge room. Like, I literally moved furniture around in my lounge room to turn one area into just a blank area. Yes, beds. I'm currently just sitting on my couch, so it like looks a little bit.
I'm at my breakfast table.
Nice. Hey, if it works, it works. My laptop screen is currently propped up by 2 empty alcohol bottles. So. And that
doing that.
It sounds bad, but I collect Absolute vodka bottles, like just the empty bottles. So I've got them. So like this is one. I'm actually doing a makeup look inspired by it. I've shown you the photos for this look, but my mum asked me to help her out with one of her school projects, which happens to be a business school like thing, and she's doing I want to say it's like. She's had to do an assessment of Absolute vodka or an assessment of a business in general and what their practices are like and their social standing. And I believe she just decided to choose Absolute vodka. And then she asked me if I could help her out. So I just decided, you know what, let's do it. I'll help her out.
I don't know why your vodka bottles are so pretty.
That's just the normal Absolute vodka bottle. Absolutes just makes pretty vodka bottles. They're a Swedish.
Ours are just clear with the blue like stripe. The Absolute. It's not pretty.
Oh, that's BS. That's because I've got multiple Absolute vodka bottles. So I'll grab them and show you. You're going to be so sad at how boring yours are then. I've got like limited edition bottles. I've got all sorts of weird crap. My mum also did get me some as like gifts because some of the things are like collector's cases. So like this is a case for bottles that you can put in.
Oh, I like that one.
Then this is a case, and it's made out of denim, so it's a case that like has a zip on the back, and you zip it up, and you can store bottles in it.
Yeah, we don't have anything like that.
There was this, which is like a limited edition bottle.
Oh, you know what? I think I have seen this one. We might have had that one.
Yeah, you might have had this one too. This is a very old bottle. This is the old raspberry.
Yeah, I think we had that one also.
This is probably one of my favorite cases. It's
No,
leather.
we definitely did not have that.
Yeah, it's leather with studs all over it. And then this is a new flavor that came out like in the last year or so, and I really like it. Oh, I'll try and turn the lights down so you can see it a bit better. There you go.
I haven't had the pear version.
It's good. My personal favorite is the one I first showed you, which is berry acai. So it's acai berry with like some other stuff in it. It's delicious. I usually mix it with lemonade, and it makes like a lemonade that has a bit of a florally taste to it. Yeah, very nice. I do also have like some other basic ones. So like I've got this frosted bottle that is a grapefruit. There is a frosted bottle that I have that is a lime flavour as well.
Oh, that's cool, Tish.
Oh, what did she say? I'm not looking at the screen at the right.
Her friend bases her looks off of her Harry Potter shirts.
Oh my god, I love Harry Potter. I'll show you in a second. This is the new version of the Absolute Raspberry. So that's what Raspberry now looks like. So it used to be the all red bottle. This is the new packaging.
I like it.
Yeah, and then there's this one, which is Absolute Peach, if I can find the camera.
Now I'm going to have to go to the liquor store and see what our bottles look like.
I know, it's always like a little fun exercise just to see pretty alcohol bottles. And Tish, I heard Pokemon. I heard Harry Potter, and I have Voldemort's wand as a tattoo. I want to get Harry's on this arm eventually.
Yeah, Ben did mine. I was telling you, Ben did the bird on my back. He's coming back in October.
I'm jealous. I need more ink. I've got enough already. I've got like 20 plus tattoos, but I need more.
Same, Tish. I kind of just opened the drawer. I'm like, that's what I'm gonna do today. I think I'm gonna get a melting clock underneath the birdcage.
Why not? That'd be nice.
Because I don't have with being disabled to be in the house, I don't really have a concept of time. So I'm gonna have it melting, but no, it won't have the pointers. Does that sound stupid?
You could replace the pointers with like something weird like lipsticks or makeup brushes.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's nice, Tish. That's a really, really nice way to
That's cool.
Celebrate it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No, my next major tattoo that I have planned, I want to get a snake tattooed around my shoulders. So I'll have like a snake head resting on this side of my front chest, and it'll be wrapped around my shoulders, and then I'll have the tail hanging on this side. I want to look scary and unapproachable. I don't want people to come near me. Leave me alone.
That's amazing, Tish. 20 years? Oh, you're going to get it for your 20 years. I see. So you know how basic Jason is. He's like the basicest white person ever. He wants this dragon that's head will be back here and the tail and body all go down his arm.
Oh, fuck. Good luck, my dude.
I don't know where it goes. I never thought that he'd want that.
Yeah, like I've got a couple of tattoos. Like I've got a little love heart on my finger. Yeah, so she's had tattoos.
Yeah, that's amazing, Tish. You look too young.
Yes, amazing job, Tish. That is definitely worth celebrating.
Gosh, you look too young to be that 22 years sober.
No, I also have lyrics from a Gwen Stefani song tattooed there.
I love Gwen Stefani.
Yeah, it's a lyric from the song "What You Waiting For." If you know that song, it's
Yeah.
the line is "Born to blossom, bloom to perish." It's sung while she's lying in a bed of dying roses, and I want to eventually get it so I'll have like blooming roses, and then like they'll start wilting and dying. So it'll be like the life cycle of a blooming rose going
That's
along
cool.
with the lyrics. And I want it to be in black and white, and the one that is dying, I want it to have some green blending into it to kind of tie in with the Voldemort one. So it'll be like Voldemort Avada Kedavra to the flowers of Gwen Stefani.
That's cool.
Because Voldemort said, fuck them muggles.
Gosh, Tish, I would have never imagined. I turned 40 this year. Oh, I never imagined that either.
I mean, I never imagined just living past 18 realistically when I was a child. And it's like, now here we are. What? Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I also have, I don't know how well I can show it, but I have this on my upper arm. This is a reference to a Christina Perri album, which is called Head or Heart. So it's an anatomically correct brain. And
I didn't know you had this one.
I've got tons of tattoos. I don't know if I've shown you all of them. I've got like a rib tattoos. I've got leg tattoos. I've got tattoos behind my ear. Got all sorts. Yeah, I'm quite heavily tattooed. Most of them are usually covered by clothing because it's cold. It's actually 10. I've got like a Pokeball behind my ear. I don't know how well that is showing on camera.
Yeah, I knew about that one. You can see it.
Yeah, I got that. I do love Jar of Hearts. So that was on, I want to say the Love Strong album was Jar of Hearts, like what is what the album Jar of Hearts was on. The album Head or Heart is the one afterwards. I really would recommend the first 4 or 5 tracks on the album. I feel like it's some of her best work overall. And that really encapsulated like the time period I was in. That really encapsulated like my mentality, and it almost kind of like music helped me through a lot in general, and that just like it kind of solidified. So Laura, I was explaining to Tish before, I'm studying and doing what's called a Certificate 2 or Certificate 3 in Community Services. So essentially I'm studying to work with like people with disabilities, the elderly, or people, vulnerable children, or vulnerable people in general. And so yes, I'm doing that on my phone, because my schoolwork and studying can be done through an app, which is pretty cool. Except what's not so cool is today I have a PDF document that I have to refer to for some part of my schoolwork, and the PDF document is like 90 fucking 1 pages long or something like that. 96 pages, sorry. So I've got a 96-page PDF file I have to read through. And this is just to read through to reference for answering things. So if I was in a different state of Australia called Victoria, I'd be doing it in person, because it's cool. It's through a program called Alfie. It's spelled ALFFIE. It's an Australian thing. And it's usually done in person if you live in Victoria or on the mainland. But in my state of Australia, I live in Tasmania. I'm on a little island, and they don't have any actual like physical colleges or universities here, or what we call TAFEs, or TAFE, TAFE in Australia. It just isn't available here in person, but they have an app that I can do it all through, and it is pretty cool. Like at any point in time in the app, I can message someone that works at Alfie and ask any questions, and it's all in real time. So if I wanted to, I could right now be like, hey, I'm having difficulties with this question. Can I get someone to call me and help me? And I should get a phone call within 2-3 minutes. Like, it is pretty cool. So it gives me the independence of being able to do the schoolwork in my own time, and I'm not having to like actually go somewhere, but it still equally is pretty good. And to be perfectly honest, I'm finding it most of it is a lot easier than I thought it would be, and I sometimes find the schoolwork a bit too easy to do. There's a lot of repeating the same kind of responses and questions, but I guess it's also to prove that you do understand what you are responding to and you're not just copy pasting answers from other places. So, like, yeah. And I don't know if you heard it, Joe, but my current thing that I'm studying, I have to read a 96-page long PDF file, and I'm just reading that to reference to in my schoolwork. So I just have to read it to then know what it's talking about. And this is all for a theoretical question. It's like, say you are working at this place, read this 96-page long PDF file so you understand the laws that are involved, and then tell us what you do in this theoretical thing. I'm like, oh my God. The amount of times I've had to do things like that, it's ridiculous. But equally, you are, like I was saying, you're working with vulnerable people. You're working with people that literally might not be cognitively able to make decisions for themselves. So you are essentially their charge. So it is very hands-on when it's actually done. It's intensive, but it will be worth it. It will be worth it. And I was also saying before, Laura, I live in a state in Australia where there is a large population of people with disabilities and elderly people in general in Tasmania. So it's like a job, it's a field that needs a lot more workers than there are. So they're always looking for more people. So equally, it's something that I can be passionate about and do my best for. Then also there is plenty of job opportunities, so it's almost guaranteed I'm going to get work, because let's be real, work's hard to come by no matter where you are. So I don't know what the unemployment rate's like in America right now, but it's pretty bad in Australia. So yeah, any job opportunities I'll take. Like, I've applied for multiple jobs in general, and like over the last couple of years, I've applied for thousands of jobs. I've maybe heard back from 10 of those thousands of jobs. It's pretty bad. And I'm like probably one of tens of thousands of people applying for jobs. Kidding. Do not want to be on camera.
I don't think he don't like the noise. He come up to check it out to see what was over here besides me, and he couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, hear the male voice and be like, what is that? It's always funny. I feel like a lot of the time, whenever I've first started talking to people and they actually hear my voice, a lot of people are very like surprised that I have as deep of a voice that I do, because there's almost this weird stereotype that if you're a male that does makeup, you have like that stereotypical high-pitched, more feminine type voice. And I'm like, I can do that, but no, it drives me up the wall. I'm not saying if you ever speak that way it's a bad thing. It's just like, I personally like when it's put on, you can tell. And I'm like, yeah, it's almost like they put it on as like it's a personality trait. And I'm like, no. No.
And my buddy, I was raised with him, so I knew how his voice actually was growing up. And he started dating this one guy, and all of a sudden he had all these mannerisms and acted a certain way. And I was like, dude, that's not you at all. I know this isn't you because I've been with you for 20 years, you know?
Yeah. And it's difficult because like it can sometimes be an identity crisis type thing where you could potentially, what you saw for those 20 years could have been a front that he had been putting out, which is also a factor. Like, I know, at least personally for me, like, there was a lot that I didn't let out until I was out. And it was very interesting because while I never was on that extreme, there definitely were things that people like, okay, now we can tell very much so compared to like before you were holding things back. But like I wasn't walking around going like, yes, darling, and it's
I
like, no.
think he thought that once the crowd he was in was very feminine males, and I think he felt secluded because he was very masculine speaking and very thick, like built thick. And I
Yeah,
think
that
that,
can happen sometimes,
yeah, I
sadly.
think that he just felt like almost left out, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, sadly, the LGBT plus community, especially with males, they can be very cliquey. I obviously can't speak for females or whatever because like I've never really been part of that world in general. And the few times that I've ever been really like active in the LGBT plus spectrum and the community in Tasmania, it's mostly been with other males, and it very much so is a one of us or you are othered type situation. Like you have to conform, and it's kind of sad because the whole point is supposed to be being yourself and being
Yeah.
free to be yourself, and it's like, what about that is being yourself if you're just being forced to fit another stereotype? What
Yeah.
difference is it to the norms of society? So, and like, I don't subscribe to the norms of society. Fuck that shit. So, like, what's the point?
Right.
It's sad, so because I have seen people lose themselves and lose their true identity in trying to fit in, and I can understand it because it can truly be and feel liberating, but it almost does feel like it's disingenuous if you know them for a long time. But then equally, like I was saying, is it truly disingenuous, or is it just that they weren't comfortable to show them true full selves and they are now? But then but it sometimes can be so abrasive, and it just comes across as like, I've known you for so long, you've never shown any of this. Where is this coming from? And you do have to
Right.
sometimes question, is this something you've suppressed and I haven't noticed, or is this something that you are just putting on because new people are in your life and you're trying to like fit in with the crowd? And there's not necessarily something wrong with that, but when it starts to get to a point where it like bleeds into everyday life and you are literally changing yourself just to fit in with people that isn't you. And like, I'd much rather having friends like you where I can be just myself,
Yeah.
and that's good enough. That doesn't have to be like a deal breaker, or that isn't a point of contention, because we don't necessarily have to agree on everything. God, we disagree on most of the makeup choices because you love a lot of your neutrals, and like, fuck that shit. And it's like, but it's not like, but I've known people that literally would be up in arms and would drop other people just because they don't share the same type of taste in makeup types or
Right.
colors. It's like, why? I get like
I
you
don't
want to be
understand.
minded people, but it's like, it's all makeup.
Yeah. And I actually love color, but every time I'm trying to do something, it seems like I have to go somewhere in here. I don't care what I look like, but Jason's so afraid sometimes that somebody from work is going to judge. You know what I mean? That I'm like, oh, I'll just throw on some browns. But now that I have purple hair, I'm going to do what I want.
See, I mean, the way that you have to sneak it in is to do like where you just do brown all through the crease and you blend it up to your eyebrows, and then you just put a little bit of color on the lids. So you only really see the color when you're blinking, but when you have
That's
your eyes
true.
open, the color is pretty much all fully covered. Because I mean, like, I've seen some people that's how they get away with wearing color in workplaces that are a bit more strict. You just do like light washes of colors rather than like, I wouldn't. It'd be something that you just have to. Yeah. I
Oh,
know.
yeah.
Right?
I don't, yeah, I agree, Tish. I agree.
Yeah. I don't know. And equally, I don't like it when So there's a few mutuals that I've seen on Twitter. I personally, with Jeffree Star, I love the makeup. The makeup is fabulous. I'll still use the makeup that I own. The only time I'll ever purchase any more of his makeup is from a company called Black Swallow in Australia, because they first have to purchase the makeup outright from Jeffree, and then they charge a little bit more to make a profit and to make their money back. So in my mind, Jeffree's not actually making any money from that purchase. I'm paying off the bills. I'm an Australian family. But other than that, like, I'm just not going to buy his stuff. I'm not tagging his stuff. Like, whenever I post things to YouTube or post to Instagram, I'm not actively tagging or using his stuff anymore. But that doesn't stop me from supporting other people that want to. And I've seen so many people on Twitter that have this mentality that's like, I'm not going to support you because you support someone else. And it's like, I kind of get where it's like, you don't want to, you can feel some type of way, but to actively be like making a whole big deal about it, it's like, who really is the bad guy here? Like,
That's the way I see it. If I said, "Hey, you like Pat McGrath and I can't be your friend," that makes me the dick. Oh, I mean the bad person.
I mean, and equally, like with Huda Beauty and stuff like that, like we've discussed in the past, because of the laws and such, I have nothing against Huda as a person. It's just the laws that are in place where she operates her business out of. And I have nothing wrong or against people who use it in the sense of like, I'm not going to be like, you're disgusting, I hate you. But it equally, I find it's ridiculous how different standards are held for different people. And I've noticed it's always the people that are the most vocal that are anti-Jeffree are the ones that are like still supporting these brands that I personally would argue are actually more problematic to support than Jeffree. Because while yes, there's a lot of things that are wrong systematically with America's legal system, by saying that if you're supporting Jeffree, you're supporting racism because whatever laws, you could argue that supporting any American-based business would then be racist too. The only time it would be is because of his past, and I'm not arguing against that. But the difference is like, as far as I'm aware, Jeffree's not actively participating in anything that is anti-black or anti-POC in the sense of like, he's not donating to the KKK. He's not fucking trying to advocate for laws or whatever. The only times I have a personal issue with supporting a brand is like if there are laws in place in the country that they operate out of, where those laws are specifically in place, like they're not like how the system in America is pretty much designed to put down the minority. Like supporting brands like Huda Beauty, they operate out of countries where it's literally made that you can be incarcerated for being in the LGBT spectrum. Some areas you will be killed for just being in the LGBT spectrum.
Right.
So supporting Huda supports that. And in the sense of like, your money will essentially eventually go back into the economy of the country that Huda Beauty operates out of. And that's not like, it's not Huda Beauty's fault, but equally Huda Beauty did choose to move there once she started up her brand. And I mean, you have to be aware of laws. And equally, she's used people that are in the LGBT community for marketing and such. And I personally don't feel very comfortable with someone using LGBT people for marketing when they're operating out of a country where those people would literally be put into prison or killed, and you're using them for marketing. And then even worse, the majority of the time that happens, or any mail that is posted on Huda Beauty's page, there's always disgusting comments talking about how gross men shouldn't be wearing makeup, or all the vomiting emojis, like always happens. And then equally, Huda Beauty was posting all of the support for Black Lives Matter in July. Not a single post for supporting the LGBT community for Pride Month, even though equally at the same time the whole Black Lives Matter movement really came to a head, but not a single post for the LGBT community or support in it. And very true, Tish. Most of them aren't good. The only time I will check, it's not really the brand owners I check. It's more so like morally, is there anything that could be wrong with me supporting that brand? Like how I was just mentioning with laws. And the only time I really go through things with a fine tooth comb is like ingredients, because one, allergies, and two, I don't want to use carmine. So that's the only time I get picky with makeup. Otherwise, I'm usually and price, because being in Australia, makeup's expensive.
Yeah. I think all mine, except for two, came from Ipsy. That's the only thing. BoxyCharm has a lot of Too-Faced, and I have an issue with them. And then Ipsy has a lot of Huda. I get a lot of Too-Faced from BoxyCharm, but my friend loves them, so I always give it to her.
Sorry, could you please repeat that? One of my friends just sent me a long message, and I'll have to get to it in a minute. It's a bit more of a serious one, but just repeat yourself quickly, sorry.
I'm just saying BoxyCharm does a lot of Too-Faced, and Ipsy does a lot of Huda, which kind of sucks, but I don't, you know how I am. I don't like to waste anything. I give a lot away, though.
Realistically.
As long as it's not thrown away.
And I mean, let's be real. We probably could support Too-Faced and feel a little bit better about it, because Jared isn't making as much money here as he was, like you were mentioning last time we were live, and his sister's not part of it anymore. But I probably won't actively still go out and purchase it. But if I ever get anything from like Too-Faced or Huda in like in a subscription box, I'm not going to not use it. I won't actively like tag the brands. I will, like, if it's in a video, show it off, but I'm not going to actively tag the brands. But I'm not going to use it, because I won't lie. I'm not, like, the only thing that's ever really caught my interest that I'm really curious about is that new Huda Beauty highlighter, that giant highlighter with the rose pan. It looks stunning.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. That is beautiful, or looks beautiful.
I know it wouldn't work on my skin tone, because I've seen someone who's darker than me but is still white, and it didn't work on them. Like, it was too dark, and they had a slight cast, so I definitely wouldn't be able to use it comfortably. But it looks stunning. The pan, the design in the pan. And which Ciate palette is that one that you got in BoxyCharm, Tish?
I think it's this one, the editorial. Is this it, Tish? I actually like this palette, okay. Half my palettes, I'm sure, are made in China. Did you get your editing done, Tish? You're busy, Tish. I got 2 videos I need to edit right now, but
Well, what video are you exporting, Tish, if you don't mind sharing? I always love seeing and hearing about what people are doing content wise. Like, I don't know what my next video is going to be. I was thinking of doing an idea, but I'm not sure if it'd be like too soon to do it because I've already done the Mecha Fantasy Basket. Smoky Glow, I already had the idea before I saw Smoky Glow or the people she mentioned doing it, but she's done it, so I'll have to credit anyways. But she did a $1,000 fantasy basket for indie brands and just went to different indie brand websites. So I was thinking of doing that. Like, how fun would that be, going and choose like $100 of stuff?
I'll be back.
Okay. How much is the Ipsy Glam bag? Because I've seen a lot of people getting it. And a lot of those type of bags, I am always remiss about the actual like information regarding to like price and how often you get them, Tish, because most of them aren't available in Australia, which it really annoys me. Like, it's such a struggle being a makeup lover in Australia, and you just like more in the sense and on a budget. Like, if I had no budget and I had all the money in the world, it'd be great because I could just buy all the makeup. But like, shipping's expensive, makeup's expensive, and then the majority of the subscription boxes don't ship to Australia. And then the ones that do ship to Australia, the majority of the items in them are skincare, and I don't really care that much for skincare. I want makeup. So I always have the struggle of like, I want all of the subscription boxes because I'd love to get on at least one or two monthly. So I at the very least had like one or two videos a month guaranteed, and like something to force me to be to some degree consistent with uploads. Okay, the small one's 15 plus is 25, then the ultimate's 50. How many items do you get in each size? If sorry to ask like all these questions of you to just respond with Tish, but like, because I believe in Australia we have the Allure box, like Allure, Allure.
I'm back. Yeah, I stopped getting the Ultimate Tish. It was expensive.
Yeah, I could imagine if $50, and I assume it's a monthly subscription.
Yeah.
At least the small one is 5 deluxe sized samples, rather than just like crappy little. Like sometimes when I get my beauty loot box, we usually get one deluxe sample, and then the rest are just like the little sachet samples, which I usually can't complain with because the samples are still usually expensive products. Like
Yeah.
I think the cheapest sample I've gotten so far was a single face wipe sample, and that face wipe, and like it sounds silly, but it was actually an item that was in my Mecca Fantasy Basket video. It was those new face two-sided wipes where
Oh,
one
yeah.
side's smooth and the other side's an exfoliating side. That's why I added it, because I really liked that item. Like I wouldn't use it regularly, like I said in the video. It'd be like a once a week type thing because it does a great job at exfoliating without being like too aggressive on the skin. But it wouldn't be something I'd use frequently because it would be a bit too rough on the skin. And plus, not good for the environment.
Right.
And I felt bad even including it because I literally included it right after a makeup removal balm where I said I'm
Yeah, I
choosing that
remember that.
one
I remember
removal
that.
wipes. It's like, oh my god.
The cool thing about Oopsie is the medium one, that's $25. You choose 3 items now. So 3 out of the 5 items you get to choose. The Ultimate is 8 full size and 4 deluxe Tish, but I got it for gosh a while and it never was worth $50.
I mean, if you get to choose some items, that's pretty decent.
It's a lot better now. I mean, you get to choose 3 out of the 5. That's pretty good.
Yeah. It'd be interesting if Mecca ever gave you the option to choose. I don't get to choose whenever I get Beauty Loop. Mecca, which is, I don't know if you know, Tish, I'll just explain it quickly. Mecca Maxima, or Mecca in Australia, is like our version of Sephora. We do also have Sephora, but Mecca was here first. They have a loyalty program where you just have to spend a certain amount per year and you automatically can get on the rewards program, and you get certain things for every certain tier that you are in. I'm currently in tier 2, and my first and only tier 2 box I've gotten so far had some pretty good samples in it. But I mean, I've had samples of $195 face serums. I've had samples of like an expensive perfume. I've had MAC samples. I've had like Drunk Elephant samples. I've had a lot of really nice high-end brand samples. And one of my friends who's on level 3, I distinctly remember last year, she got a box where she got like a deluxe travel size of the Toucher water cream as one of 5 items in her box. And that was one of 5 expensive items, and they were all like expensive. So, I mean, to get onto level 3, you have to spend about 1,000 to 1,200 Australian dollars. But I mean, for that price, you get 4 boxes a year on top of one for your birthday. And then when you're at that level, you gain access to exclusive sales. You also get invitations to launch events, as well as getting 4 free sessions for different things. So you can get like a makeup pampering session, or you can get your skincare done, or you can get like your makeup done, or you can do a master class.
Ours does that,
So, I mean,
but you have to be Rouge. I think it's Rouge. I'm
how much do you have
Rouge
to spend to
level.
be enrolled?
If you spend 1,000, you get the same kind of deal, except we don't get the 4 boxes.
Okay, so ours is still pretty much superior in that sense then.
Yeah, y'all get the boxes. We get to choose for our birthday. Then you can have your makeup done or your skincare done. You get the exclusive. You get to go to the sales early, and you get 20% or 25% instead of 15%. I'm a Rouge member. Don't tell Jason. I prefer the plus too, Tish.
So I'm getting like messages that I'm trying to also respond to at the same time.
You're fine. Me and James both are trying to get more into the indie brands, Tish. There's one copacetic cosmetics that I really want, and Star Gem's got a palette I really want. I want to try some Ruby May and Peachy Queen, I think is the name of another one. Honestly, girl, I just want to try it all.
Yeah, a lot of the items that I've tried from some indie brands have been like superior to similar products from these higher luxury brands. Like the only time I've found where that luxury has pretty much been unmatched has been things like liquid lipsticks. While Star Gem's liquid lipsticks have the best staying time that I've ever had. I love that, Trish. I love Star Gem. I have quite a fair few of their items, as you probably saw in my video. Their lipsticks, insane staying power. The Mecha Fantasy Basket video that I filmed, I had one of Star Gem's lipsticks on. It stayed on even through me brushing my teeth and getting like toothpaste on the lipstick itself. It withstood toothpaste. So it's good shit. It will stand up to the test of time. And
You're supposed to plug your promo code now, James.
I'm dying. Yes, you can use my code. It is BESTLOAF. If you also go into any of the descriptions of the videos that I've talked about Star Gem, or if you go onto my Instagram is just the best loaf. The best loaf. I'll type it in the comments below. Any post you see that has something from Star Gem in it, and like just read the description, and the description, if you see Star Gem, I usually will link Best Loaf. On my profiles as well, I have a link tree, and if you click on my link tree, it'll bring up a little page that looks like this, and it's like a list of different links. And in this list, there is one that is called Star Gem Cosmetics Affiliate Link. If you click on that one, it should apply my discount code automatically at the checkout. And if not, you can still just apply the code at checkout. I do have to mention, I do make a small commission from the use of those codes and links if you ever do choose to do so. It's not much, but obviously it's a little bit, and I do have to mention it because legal things. But it is greatly appreciated. You don't have to use my code. You don't have to use my link. As long as you buy something, just show me it, because I love seeing people loving the products from brands that I love that aren't well known yet, that deserve to be well known. Like Star Gem, they have things planned that I can't mention because I'm on the PR team and I help run things in the background for them. Like I help run their business page on Twitter. There are things that they know, or things that I know, that are coming out in the future that are like game changing. Like they're still working on the formulas for colored foundations. So instead of having to use face paints that aren't properly designed to last before it will be long wear, they're actually making like foundations that are pre-colored so you can do cosplays and stuff like that easier. They've currently got like a 35 pan eyeshadow palette that isn't just a typical palette that you see off of Amazon or whatever, and it's only $15 US before codes or discount codes. So you could use a discount code with this $15 35 pan palette and get 15% off. Hello, Jason. I saw you in the reflection of the mirror.
Oh, who are we talking to?
The James.
That's who I thought it was.
Yes,
Hey,
it's
James, how's it going?
all the way from this Australia. How are you?
Doing good. Been working
They've
That's
been
nice.
gardening.
Oh, fun. Has
after
the weather
work.
been treating you kindly for the gardening, though?
I can't hear. What is it?
What'd you say, hun?
As I asked, has the weather been treating you kindly for mowing? Because I know you were saying it's been raining.
Actually, it's cloudy.
It was cloudy, but it made it not so hot.
It's probably in
that's
the
good.
mid 80s.
Yeah, so it was nice.
It felt like it was going to rain the whole time, but just never did. It looks like it's about to again.
Yes,
Pizza.
Yep.
What's James been up to?
I'm studying. I'm supposed to be studying, but we get distracted with conversations very easily and around these parts, clearly. No.
She's good at that.
I'm pretty decent, probably even better, and Joe and I constantly distract each other. We're thick as thieves on Instagram. We constantly will message each other, especially when it's new makeup stuff. We'll always send links to each other and be like, "Oh, look at this! We found this."
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Tish, sorry, that's my wonderful husband.
Was there somebody else on there too?
Yeah.
Hello, Tish. You can see me in the reflection still.
I don't think you can.
All right, I'm gonna go get in the shower.
Yeah,
It's
you
pretty
need
dirty.
to. Bye.
All right.
He's gross.
Bye, James.
See you later. No, I could see him in the reflection of the mirror behind you on your right. I believe it's your right.
Right here?
Yeah. No, that's cool, Tish. I've yet to try something from Lele Posh. I have seen a lot of their stuff. I just have the issue. A lot of indie brands don't even ship to Australia. And then when they do ship to Australia, the shipping is like 25, 30 Australian dollars. And it's not the fault of the indie brand. It's just the shipping price.
No, they won't count that. Love you, bye. Sorry for the interruption, guys.
Yeah, do not apologise, like what Tish said. I mean, if you have to apologise for that, I have to apologise for every time burbs make noise. Sorry. You're going to make me say
We
sorry?
get nothing done if you had to apologize for the birds.
Oh, God, I would get nothing done in general if I had to apologise for the birds. I swear to God, I keep on losing.
I like all animals, Tish. I'm an animal lover.
I just feel bad because I know some of my new friends that I've met through YouTube, they've got like migraine and headache type issues that can be triggered by things like the birds.
Yeah.
Because I love birds as well, Tish. I've got 2 cockatiels. One's kind of friendly. The other one's a nasty meanie. The nice one's the one that you can currently hear. My nasty one's bathing and cleaning herself, preening herself because she always has to look fierce and fabulous to rule among her reign. I don't know. She certainly acts holier than thou. It's the demon cat. I have stories with some pet birds I've had. I used to have a little pet budgie. You guys call them parakeets, I discovered. We call them budgies in Australia, or budgerigars. Did you know budgies or budgerigars, they're native to Australia? So we just see them in the wild here.
No.
Yeah, they're wild here. So my partner's one's just a little peach-faced cockatiel. Mine is, yes, not you, but hi. That was mine that just spoke up then. Mine is, I don't know what the proper terminology for it is. I've named her Cinnamon, but she's like white and grey and beige. She doesn't have any coloured cheeks at all, though.
Now, does Zach have birds before y'all met?
Yes, he had a pet budgie. No, speaking of budgie, I had a quick story about it. I used to have a pet budgie. He sadly passed away. He actually he killed himself on the wall behind me. Funnily enough. it was sad. That's another story. It was essentially the room was like one part of the room was light, one part of the room was dark, and he was flying around. And he went into the dark part and didn't like have his eyes adjust quick enough, and he didn't realize, slammed into the wall and snapped his neck. Basically, it's pretty sad. But the same budgie, I was once babysitting a friend's cat, and I had to go to work, and it was only for a 3-hour shift. So I'm like, okay. I've put the bird in the cage, left the cage up high, left nothing near it that the cat should be able to climb, and I felt pretty confident. I went to work, I came home, opened the door, and the cage is literally right next to the front door. Cage is empty, no bird inside. I'm like, what the fuck? I go turn and look around the corner. I see the cat cowering in the corner, a puddle of piss underneath it, and my budgie is just walking around happy as Larry, starts chasing this cat, and the cat starts running away from the budgie, peeing itself in fear. My budgie had traumatized this cat.
Oh no.
I don't know how the bird got out of the cage, but it got out of the cage and it traumatized this poor cat. The cat was scared like the life out of it. It would not go near the budgie. I don't know what the budgie did to it, but it was terrified of the bird. I've had all sorts of strange birds. I've had birds that are nasty to each other. I've had birds that are nice.
That sounds like what I have right now with the cats. Kit Kat keeps coming up to the chair trying to figure out the birds.
I know, they want to, the birds are all sorts of vocal.
I've heard that they are, Tish, but I've never been around any mean ones, but I've heard that they are. I've only been around a few though.
Yeah. My like my partner's one, his I don't know if like in Australia parakeets and cockatiels. Oh no, parakeets. Parakeets are fucking little what we call budgies. No, I used to have a really nice budgie. My budgie would just get picked up. He would love life. I used to be able to even sleep with the budgie. Like it would make a nest inside of my bed. Like, so it would make a nest inside of the blankets. So, but like when I knew that the bird was there, I would like, my body would not move. So I'd almost sleep like a rock. I usually toss and turn, but when I know there's like an animal in the bed, even if it's just a cat or a dog, I just, for some reason, I go stock still. And I just wake up, and most of the time I'd wake the bird up, and it was the cutest thing. I lift up the covers, and this bird would just give me the most like evil eyes of like, "How dare you wake me up?" And then it was so cute.
When the boys were kittens, they liked to get in my back when I slept, and I was terrified I would roll over, but I never did.
Yeah, I don't know. I've had all sorts of birds, and I guess, you know, I grew up in the desert in Western Australia. I've had a pet snake. I've had a pet fruit bat. I've had all sorts of weird pets. So, like,
Oh, nice, Tish.
my partner used to have a little peach-faced lovebird. Then one day, randomly, like, Zach was at work. I still had a housemate living here. and I was just in my bedroom playing on the Xbox, and then out of nowhere, the housemate comes and is like, Zach's bird's dead. Yeah, it was just dropped dead on the bottom of the cage, and like I'd literally fed it an hour beforehand, and it was perfectly happy. It'd come up to me, and I'd fed it seed by hand and all sorts.
That's crazy.
They're just that's just one thing I do not like about birds. They're notorious for not showing any signs of illness, because even if they do feel comfortable with you, it's pretty much instinct and second nature for them to hide the fact that they're sick, because it makes sense to not show predators.
Well, a lot of animals are like that. A lot of animals are like that. If they show sickness, obviously predators will try to get them.
I know some lovebirds, like Zach's lovebird, my partner's lovebird. He was a bit of a shy one. It was so cute. He'd just beep all the time. He'd just sit there beeping. I love peach face or lovebirds sounds. They beep.
Oops.
Oh,
Sorry.
alarm! I heard the alarm. But no, his was not very wanting to interact with hands. Like, I don't know how a lot of other people feel, but when I've ever interacted with birds or animals in general, you can almost tell if they're into interacting with people with their hands, or like just being touched or whatever. And I've noticed my cockatiel, she just does not want anything to do with people. Like, I can feed her by hand. She'll take seeds from my hands very happily. She doesn't like hiss or try and bite or whatever, but she just does not have any interest in like being touched or like interacting with me. While my partner's bird is more than happy to like be pet, or will lick my finger, or like interact with hands. So like I feel like some birds in general and some animals in general, they just do not have the inkling to interact with humans. And I feel like it is cruel to force an animal to interact when they are clearly giving you the signs to not interact. And I pretty much always get those signs from my bird. Like, she's interested enough where I can just sit there and make noises at her and she'll respond back, and she'll listen to music with me, or I can like drop water on her. I'll get water on my fingertips and I'll make it like rain on her, and she likes it. But she has no interest with actually like touch or me like petting her or picking her up, unlike Zach, my partner's bird, who is interested in interacting.
My cats finally came out. They are now used to your bird chirping, I guess.
They're kind of realizing, oh, it isn't so hurting. Because I think sometimes some animals don't realize that like there is a difference between the sounds that are coming from a device and the sounds that are from real life. Like, I've had some animals that have realized the difference, and it's kind of weird when you notice that animals notice the difference.
Yeah.
Like, I was
have 6 cats, Tish. 4 that are disabled, and I guess 2 that are the other way. I don't know, abled. What, you have 2 birds, James, and that's it right now?
Yeah, I two's enough. Two's enough. I mean, you wouldn't believe it, but these are the quieter birds I've owned.
Oh, my sister used to have birds. Yours ain't nothing compared to what hers do. Oh my
No.
gosh.
I used to have an Indian ringneck. So the entrance to my street, I live on a one-way street, so yeah, there's only one entrance in, one entrance out, and I live maybe 100, 200 meters from the entrance. I don't know how many feet that would be. That's probably a couple of 100 feet easily from the entrance to where my house is. You can hear her like a block or two away when she was at her loudest, screaming and carrying on, and that was with everything closed up, with the house, all the windows closed, all doors closed. You could still hear this bird screaming its head off inside of the house, like over multiple blocks away. She was loud, and she demanded attention all the time. That bird was like having a toddler, literally. Like almost every morning at 8:30 on the dot, you'd hear her little claws pitter-pattering on the lino flooring that's in our kitchen before you enter the bedroom, and you'd hear her little claws pitter-pattering on the kitchen floor, and then you'd see her head poke around the bedroom door to see if you were awake. Like a toddler, she would come to see if we were awake every morning. What are you looking for?
It is pouring down rain all of a sudden. I was trying to see if I could hear. I was like, is that what I'm hearing? They got done in the nick of time.
Yeah,
Oh, bye, Tish. Bye, Tish.
You're seeing messages before me because I haven't seen Tish say that she's leaving. The last one that I've seen is talking about her cats. Okay, there we go. Just popped through then. Thank you for coming, Tish, for the amount of time you did. It is greatly appreciated. Hope you enjoy your food. Hello, Christy. How are you? How was the live with Zach? I wish I would have stayed longer for the live with Zach, but what happened? I believe it like dropped out on my end and then it ceased being live because I did try and stay around for at least 15 minutes, so the view counted for Zach's live. So like for the first 5 or 10 minutes of this, I was live while watching them on my phone.
Does it count if you see the smoke?
How dare you?
I'm not doing anything bad. I'm just vaping. Christy.
You smoke whatever you want to smoke. Your body.
Right? Now that I found out that you can get demonetized if that's on there, I'm worried that when you do get monetized, this live will be messed up. Does that make sense? Are you frozen? Oh, there you go. You was frozen.
I think my internet just went a little bit buggy. Either that or I'm just experiencing
You're glitching.
Who I am. Can you hear me still normal?
There you go. There you go. I can hear you now.
We love it when the internet wants to mess with our plans.
Hey, Christy.
I don't know why that opened up. My laptop just opened up Microsoft PowerPoint for no reason. I'm like, why?
How are you tonight, Christy?
Yes, Christy, how are you? That's annoying when StreamYard plays silly buggers. I know it was giving me some issues when I joined Zach's live last time. I could hear everyone but Joe. Like Joe was speaking and Nicole could hear Joe, but I couldn't hear Joe. And I ended up having to leave and come back.
I'm doing good. Thank you.
See, I need one of them. I need a straw because I keep on having to tip this back.
This actually came in my Oopsie. These straws.
Oh, nice. We like Ipsy supporting the environment with metal straws.
It's odd when you get straws in your beauty box, but
Yeah, it is a bit of a strange type of item to receive, isn't it?
I was excited about them. Did you have a busy day today, Christy?
Okay. Sorry, I'm actually.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I was just saying I'm trying to actually doing schoolwork, so I'll probably stop responding for like every couple or so minutes, and I'm sorry in advance.
Oh, don't apologize for schoolwork. Yeah, I've kept up with my metal ones. Now, I had some silicone ones, and I've lost one of those. Oh, good, Christy. How was the weather where you're at, Christy? It is pouring down rain here. I graduated with my MBA a long time ago, Christy. Oh, okay. Oh, my phone's going crazy.
So, for schoolwork, Christy, sorry. I'm doing a Cert 3 in community service. So my course is a bit of a broad spectrum course. I can streamline, and it also depends on where I get work placement at. But essentially, I'm studying to work with people with disabilities, people, vulnerable children, or vulnerable people in general, young children, the elderly, kind of like just community service and like a caretaker type job. And I'm currently in semester 2 of my work, and all of my schoolwork's done through an app, because the people that I'm doing my schoolwork through, they only have like in-person schools on the mainland of Australia, and I live in Tasmania, which is a little island state. And because of that, I do all mine through an app, which is pretty cool, because the app still gives me the ability to have live help if I need it. So right now, let's say if I had an issue at this current second, I could message someone, and someone would either respond or call me within a couple of minutes to help answer my question. It's pretty much real time, but I can do the schooling at my own pace. I just also have certain times of the day where people can respond to me very quickly. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing for schooling. And like I said, I'm currently doing schoolwork. So I'm currently, if my phone, no, sorry, my screen's too bright. So I'm currently doing, so specifically right now, I am studying on the laws and regulations that are in place around interpreters, and when it is appropriate and necessary to discuss with a client whether an interpreter is necessary for a certain situation. So like I'm currently having to refer to a 96-page long document on the legislations and answering theoretical scenarios. So like one I just had was about this client named Pierre, and he's an older man with numerous health problems, and he relies on his son to help him communicate in English. Hi, Kitty, that looks like he does not want to be there.
He's purring, and he's like, I don't know about this.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm just having to come up with responses. I was just explaining what I'm currently doing and how like I'm doing scenario type work where I'm having to answer theoretical scenarios after reading 96 pages of legislation. So I was just explaining, like, I'm currently now having to explain whether or not it is appropriate for me to get an interpreter for a certain scenario to explain to a client information better. And if it is just a situation where I feel like it'd be easier, but it's not necessary, or is it a situation that legislations actually state that I need to ask them to if they want an interpreter? So it's essentially read the scenario, cross-reference this 96 pages of documentation, and make sure you're answering it correctly.
Do you find it easier to be doing it yourself instead of at a remote location?
Certain things that I've done through the course so far, I would much rather have an actual in-person course that I could go through, because it would have been easier and nicer to have someone to actually bounce the information off of in person than having to rely on like messaging, especially because a lot of the time I like to do the schoolwork at night time because I've spent the day doing other stuff I've wanted to do, and then I'll just leave schoolwork for night time. So I can't necessarily ask someone and expect 2-3 minute response. So it'd be nice. And then not only that, it'd also be good for motivation, because let's be real, it sometimes can be difficult to motivate yourself when you are literally relying on yourself. Because I don't necessarily have to do the course. I'll get like penalized if I don't do the course, but it's not like I have to go to an in-person class every single day where it's like that's kind of forcing you to do the work type thing.
Yeah.
Like you really have to motivate yourself.
I had to do, in my master's, I had to do a 100-page dissertation, and it was hard to do some every day. And you really needed to do some every day to get the finished result in 3 months. A lot of people flunked just because they tried to do it last minute.
Yeah, and I think I sometimes, or whenever I've had situations in education, let's say, and I've like left it to the last minute, I seem to be one of the lucky people that have, like, it seems to go pretty successfully for me if something is either left to the last minute or something happens where I'm forced. Like, I remember one point in time, I was doing an English communications class when I was at college, so year 11, year 12, and I had to write like a 2,000-word story, and it was like a fiction story. And it was 30 minutes until it was due, and I was looking at the like document on my laptop, and I somehow deleted it all and saved over it, and I couldn't get it back. So I deleted this whole story I'd written, and I somehow rewritten the whole thing in the last 30 minutes. Like, I freaked out and just went crazy typing on the keyboard. I got one of the best marks in the class. And she's like, oh, I can tell you spent a long time thinking about this. I'm like, don't you fucking know? I literally just retyped it all out after 30 minutes. Thank you, Christy. Also, what was the lipstick that you were wearing? I'm pretty sure you're wearing a lipstick in the live that you went live with on Zach's channel just before I went live. I want to say you were wearing a lippy. It looks like you were, unless my mind's just playing tricks with me. I'm currently barefaced and boring. Joe's looking beautiful.
Trying.
Not trying, you are beautiful. Ooh. I don't believe I've tried anything from Joe's and Moran. There's a lot of brands I haven't tried stuff from because not many options in Australia. And the fact that I'm usually a cheapskate and I just cannot justify the price of most items shipping.
Well, it makes a difference too that it's not only Australia. You say Australia, but you're actually in Tasmania, which makes it even harder, correct?
Usually, yes, and it's usually more expensive to ship to me too, because not only, at the very least, if I was in the mainland, once it hits the mainland, it can be shipped to me via train, and then via the trains, it's fine. But it has to, usually it will things will arrive in Sydney, and then it has to fly to Melbourne, and then it flies to Tasmania from Melbourne. So it usually takes 2 or 3 stops, and I guess it's not that atypical from how like multiple stops can be taken in the US. But I've literally had some times where I've ordered from an Australian indie brand. Like I ordered from an Australian indie brand a couple of days ago because they had a sale on some glitters, and that was still $12 for shipping.
Yeah.
And that was and that was like 5 items, and I got maybe like $10 worth of items, $10 of shipping. So like the shipping prices are crazy. And my God, that looked so horrible. I just realized on frame. Looks like I was scratching my stomach. I'm sorry, everyone. That was horrible. No, I was scratching stomach. But it's difficult trying to support indie brands because like one of the few times that I almost regret the purchase was like from Midas or Midas Cosmetics. I bought 3 glitters from them. They're gorgeous glitters. I don't regret it. It was like $9.50 for these 3 glitters, $9.50 Australian. It cost me 25 Australian dollars in shipping. So I literally spent like almost 3 times the amount in shipping than what I paid for the items themselves. And it makes it extremely difficult if I want to try and support these indie brands, where a lot of the time indie brands don't even ship to Australia, let alone then if they do ship to Australia, they don't have enough items that I'm wanting to purchase for me to be able to justify a purchase and then justify the cost of shipping. And it's not like I don't blame these indie brands for the price of shipping because obviously they can't help it how much USPS or whoever else they work through wants to charge. But it makes it very difficult when you're a makeup lover wanting to support indie brands, and realistically your only options are these high-end luxury brands or these brands that have got connections.
Well, it's just like even Glam and Matrix. What's that palette I want from them? I forgot the name.
Sandra Rose.
Yeah, the Sandra Rose palette. I mean, it's like buying another palette for me to buy that palette because of shipping costs.
Yeah.
I'm going to get it.
Yeah, and I always find it funny when I see American mutuals of mine complaining about the 1 or 2 times they want to purchase from an international indie brand. It's like, how do you think we feel when we literally don't have an option? Oh, okay. I didn't realize that Josie Moran's lip products had like oils and stuff in it. I love that it actually has like conditioning type ingredients inside of it. I usually it's a sample that I got that Joe gifted to me, but I use my Laneige lip sleeping mask as like a moisturizer before I put on lipsticks because I find it's enough just to help the lips. I personally haven't really used argan oil a lot. I find whenever I've used argan oil in my hair, it feels a bit too greasy for me. I don't like the feel of it, but I love jojoba oil. Jojoba oil has done wonders for my skin. My skin used to not be as like nice and wrinkle free as it is now. Like I used to have more wrinkles. I've actually gotten a lot less wrinkles because I started using products that apparently my skin really likes. But like rosehip and jojoba oil seems to be my magical pairing for my face, so I'm just sticking with that. And I happen to be able to get my whole face routine that I like using from my version of Walmart in Australia, and each product is like $2 or $3 per product. Yeah. So I've got a whole face routine for under 10 Australian dollars. That's cleanser, my hyaluronic acid serum, and my moisturizer. So that's pretty good.
I have to do my giveaway video tomorrow.
Ooh, yeah, that's right. You hit your 100. Congratulations again on that. Your family growing more and more as the days go by.
Don't forget to watch my video tomorrow, Christy.
Don't forget.
There's going to be a giveaway.
One of my mutuals, she's doing a giveaway as well, Joe, and I can't enter because it's US only, but I've nominated you to win if I end up getting in, so you'll get those items. And there's some really nice items in it, so I hope you do win so you can get that. And thank you, Christy. I'm assuming you're talking to me because I did see you did comment on my video. I'm still trying to get Jo to do a video on her collection. And if you are filling up for it, Christy, even if it's just a fun little, like 5-10 minute long video with your phone, I'd love to see what products you have in terms of makeup and skincare. Because my whole purpose with that video really, like I had a couple of people while doing lives asked to see more of my collection. I showed a little bit of it off. But I love watching those types of videos myself and seeing what people use. I just love seeing makeup. It's like little bits of jewelry for me. So if you're filling up for it, Christy, I would love to see if you just do like a little tour of all of your stuff. You don't have to do like a crazy long, extensive video like I did, because I know it's not realistic for many people to do a 33-minute long edited video like I did. I'm just a bit tapped in the head, I guess. But yeah, I had a lot of fun though, and I genuinely would love to see a lot of people that I have been interacting with lately do that too, because I just love seeing what other people use. I love knowing that other people have like found items that like I've either mentioned and they've liked, or like I'll find an item that they've mentioned and I've liked the look of. I think it's really cool to like build a community, and it's a great way to kind of get to know each other as well. We get to see what someone's habits are like, what their brand's preferences are like, and stuff like that.
Oh,
No,
I'll show you my hair mask, Christy. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Yes, thank you, Christy. If you do, I would more than happily watch it, because, like I was saying, I love watching those type of videos. And I mean, like I was saying as well, it's a great way to build a sense of community where it's almost a way to let people in, because it's not really a formal type of video where you're sitting down and doing makeup. You're showing everything off. So that's why I want Jo to show off her makeup collection. So not only so I can see more of it, because I've seen the majority of the makeup collection, because Jo and I talk all the time, but it'd be also nice to, have a video of it, to have an actual visual of everything. And then it'd also be cool for other people to see, and then hopefully inspire more people to share their whole collection in video format, so we all can mutually love on makeup together. And we appreciate you, Christy, all the love that you show us and all the love that everyone shows us. We've both said to each other, it's almost like overwhelming how much support we've gotten so quickly. I mean, like Joe's already hit 100. I remember not even 2 weeks ago, I had like 20. I had 20 subs. I'm literally at like over 50 now. It's like, when did that happen?
This, Christy, is what I use in my hair, the Moroccan oil, and it is expensive. But let me tell you, because I bleach my hair so much to put these fantasy colors in, this changed my hair game. It makes my hair so soft. Love this stuff. Look, not sponsored, but should be.
I don't think I've ever tried products from that brand. I have seen the brand a lot. Like I recognize the logo at the very least.
It's worth it.
Like I was saying, I'm not sure.
Do what?
I'm not sure on a lot of those products. Like I've never tried the Moroccan oils, or like in general, not just that brand, but in general, I know it's a thing. But like I was saying, whenever I've used argan oils on my like hair, I've always felt like it's too much greasiness for me. Like I just haven't liked argan oil. Whenever I've tried jojoba oil or rosehip oils, though, I've loved them. And what's another oil I like? Fructus. I don't know if you guys have the brand Fructus in America.
The what?
It's Fructus. Fructis. It's like a line by Garnier.
Oh yeah, we do.
Yeah, so Fructus has this line of hair serums, and I'm pretty sure I'm not sure what oils are in it, but I really like that one. And I think that might be a Moroccan type oil.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, nice, a Tony Moly hair product. I like the look of a lot of their packaging. Have you seen the Tony Moly collaboration that was done with Minions?
That was cute.
I don't like Minions, but the packaging is adorable. I love good packaging choices. Equally, like, I don't like SpongeBob, but Juno and Co did a collab with SpongeBob, and they've got those lines. What a smart collab idea! Like, what collab? Like, Hip Dot's SpongeBob collab was cool, but I'm like, yeah, that was pretty whatever. But I'm like, nothing more appropriate than having like a sponge with SpongeBob.
Oh, we both are, Christy. We love packaging. James is a packaging hoe.
You probably saw in the video, Christy, but I depotted all of my Jeffree Star Cosmetics eyeshadows, but like I literally removed the pans from the packaging, and I've kept the packaging in storage because what I would like to do once I own my own property, this is in the future as a dream, I'd like to build or have a makeup room, and on one of the walls, I'd like to have a display case built where it almost will be like a little makeup museum. So I've been trying to keep the packaging from many brands like Pat McGrath, Jeffree Star. I've got like cheap as well as expensive because I just want to have it all there, and I can be like, okay, this is this is the time period that I got in. This is the drama that was involved with this product. This is the drama that was involved with that brand. This drama is like whatever. This brand's canceled. I think it's really cool to have like little bits of makeup throughout makeup history in the last year or so that I've been a part of.
I'm more of I like package that's bougie, but I like memory package. Like when Sailor Moon came out with ColourPop, that's a huge memory for me, and I had to have it because of the memory.
Yeah, I mean, if ColourPop did like a Pokemon collection, I would definitely get it. And Pokemon, there was a Pokemon collection with Shu Uemura, but I just wasn't interested enough in the actual makeup itself to purchase it, plus it being expensive, and I'm pretty sure it was Japan exclusive, so I don't even think I could have gotten it in the first place. But I love Pokemon, and there's very few things that I would get that are like associated with the brand because I just find most of it's gimmicky. But if it was a Pokemon thing, I'd for sure be all over it.
I love a good gimmick.
Oh,
I love a good gimmick.
I do too sometimes, but a lot of the time I find because I'm also doing like product photography, I equally want the makeup to be amazing on the inside, but I also want the packaging to be equally amazing so I can make it, I can make it look pretty.
It's like I use my friend, I don't have any Glam light, but I've used my friends, and
I want to get some of their products and make up a murder.
It's really good. It's really good. And I love the fact that one of them's a taco and one of them's a burger.
Yeah, I don't know if I would get the food ones because I just don't really care that much. But I love the whole aesthetic of Make Up a Murder. Like the whole
that was cool.
Like I love the packaging for the neon pigments where it's like the evidence bag, wrap, and I'd almost want to get two sets of the pigments just so I'd have an unopened one where I can just keep the packaging intact and then just have the ones that are actually open.
The Simpson collab, that was amazing, Christy.
I don't think I saw that.
It was dope. It was really cool.
I used to love on Mac a lot, and then I purchased a couple of lipsticks, and I had a friend at the time living with me, and she essentially stole the two MAC lipsticks I owned. They were kind of my first expensive purchases. Like I'm talking, I bought these when I was 20, so like 4 years ago. And once they were stolen, I kind of like lost any enthusiasm that I had started building up for makeup. Like I could have been doing this for years instead of just over a year now if it wasn't for that friend stealing that MAC lipstick, because that pretty much just ruined my enthusiasm for trying to play with makeup more. So
I'm
like, could
not
you
a, you know,
imagine?
except for I lost my shoe. Sorry, except for some of the packaging. Again, I'm not a huge MAC person. I like the paint pots and the lipsticks are good, and that's about it. Like I got the Aaliyah eyeshadow, but I got it because it said Aaliyah on it. I didn't get it because of the colors, or I haven't even used it. I literally got it because I like Aaliyah.
Kiki's isn't like my favorite movie from Studio Ghibli, but Spirited Away as a kid, that was like Spirited Away was the first animated movie that I saw that wasn't like Pokemon. And like I remember it was like this magical thing where like my mind was blown and like how beautiful everything was. And since then, I've always been a fan of Studio Ghibli. I mean, I should probably do some makeup looks inspired by some of my favorite animes and stuff like that, because there's an anime called Summer Wars. It's not made by them, but Summer Wars has some of the most beautiful animation that I've ever seen in my life. I mean, Interstellar 5555 is a movie that Daft Punk made, and that was like a collaboration with a Japanese animation house. And that was essentially a movie that was made to go to one of their albums that they released. So essentially, it was just a soundtrack movie, but it was like all animated, and it was beautiful. Like it was good enough that my mum rewatched it in her own time. Like she asked for me to copy the movie onto her laptop so she could rewatch it. Like so, and she doesn't actively really listen to music or whatever. So if someone liked it enough, and she's not the biggest fan of like EDM or dance music, and she actively wanted to rewatch it, I'd highly recommend it. Totoro's pretty good too. Yeah, Spirited Away was my Spirited Away is like the top tier Studio Ghibli movie for me, but like my probably top animated movie is between Summer Wars and Interstellar 5555. Oh, that's pretty shade. What was that you put on?
Like a Boss by Pop Sugar.
Because you like a boss.
It smells like cotton candy. Oh, it's so yummy. Well, thanks, Christy. I am going to do a little tour of my makeup stuff like you did, James, but behind all this is the chaos of what is your box. So I got to wait till I get all that together before I can do because it'll show. I can't let it show.
See, I've been kind of organized with that since the get-go, because I pretty much had what box that I was going to use chosen for me for all of your stuff. And because I'm just a freak, I've been like making sure that everything will fit the whole time. So whenever I've gotten any single item in for you, I've instantly put it straight in your box and essentially packed it like it's ready to be shipped, just to make sure that it will fit. I don't know how well I'm going to fit like treats and lollies and stuff, because it's going to be an actual tight squeeze to get more things in it. But it should be packaged pretty nicely and you shouldn't have any casualties. And I'm really excited for you to open it and get some of the items that are in there. There's some things in there that I won't give away too much, but I'm hoping it will force you to do, not force, but like it will spur you and give you the enthusiasm to try something that you've not necessarily been very willing to do so in the past.
Okay.
That
gives away nothing because I have no idea what you mean.
It will make sense when you unbox the box. It will make sense. You will understand exactly what I'm talking about. You will understand as soon as you unbox the box and see what I'm talking about.
Originally, I had a box and I was doing the same thing. I was putting everything in real neat, and it was I had my bubble wrap already ready, and then it got too big, and then there's supposed to be Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and the boxes had to change. Ugh.
You don't have to include the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I think that was just like Nicole and everyone was like, oh my God, you need to try Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I'm absolutely sending Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Nicole has spoken.
Sorry, I'm trying to read the thing because, like, apparently it's currently asking me, when else is it, like, what are other times that an interpreter can be necessary when English isn't a language barrier? It's like, when else do you use a fucking interpreter other than you can't speak the language that you need the interpreter for? What?
Yes, Christy. Me and James are swapping Christmas boxes, and Nicole and them said that I have to send Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah, because there's a few items that I can't get in Australia, and then equally Joe can't get in America. So my whole concept for my box, at the very least, I've chosen majority items that are 99% of the items are from brands that you cannot purchase outside of Australia at all. Like, there's been some items that you can, but they are a bit of a convoluted way, or you have to know exactly what the item is to search and know exactly where you have to search to find it. Like, you can find some of the brands on Amazon, but you have to specifically know what the item's called. Otherwise, it just doesn't show up because, it's not a popular brand. So I chose a lot of things in different price ranges. So you've got some really nice cheap drugstore. You've got a little bit more bougie, fancier products as well. So it's going to be fun. I've also said to Joe, to Christy, I've tried to give enough that you can almost do a full face from every brand that I've purchased. So there's going to be a full face of super cheap. There's going to be a full face of a bit more expensive, nicer quality stuff, and all in between. So, like, you've gotten mascaras, I've gotten new foundations, I've got new blushes, bronzers, highlighters, lipsticks, everything. There's other things that I can't mention what they are because it will give away what they are. So I am very excited for Jo to receive her box. I've also included, not all of the items that I've included I've tried, but I have also included some of my ultimate fave items, like the glitter adhesive that I use from BYS, which is an Australian brand. I've included a thing of that. That literally is my favorite thing to use for putting glitter on the eye, because it's not a glue, it's a clear tacky gel, and it dries down to have a tacky feel like a glue. But I feel like using an eyelash glue to stick glitter to your lid can sometimes be a bit too much, and you have to do a bit more effort to get it off. But the glitter adhesive from BYS, that holds the glitter on, but when you want to get it off, it's really easy to get off, and it's pretty much waterproof. Like, when I've done swatches with glitter using that BYS glitter adhesive, I've run my hand underneath the faucet for 5-10 minutes. Not a single glitter will move. It holds. It's great. And it's only like $3 or $4 Australian dollars for this glitter adhesive. And it's like the best glitter adhesive I've ever used.
That one sounds like this NYX glitter primer.
Yeah, but that one's got a color to it, doesn't it?
Little bitty bit, not very much.
Yeah, my BYS one, it's literally like clear. It's like clear jelly. So it's like a lip gloss, but it's designed to dry down tacky. So you can use it as an eye primer. So you could probably get away with it as an eye primer, and it would make your eye look extremely pigmented. It would be insanity using it as an eye primer base. But you'll understand what I mean. And you use the smallest bit. I almost I put a little drop on my hand, then I pat my finger into the drop, and then I have to pat off some of the extra product. Otherwise, I get too much on the eye. but you kind of experiment with how you use it. But when you learn how to use it properly, it pretty much won't disturb any of the eyeshadow underneath it. So you can pretty much, you don't have to do like a clean cut canvas or anything like that either, which is what I love about it, because it is so tacky. It will just make it look like you've done a cut crease without actually having to do a cut crease.
Right.
And because of its formula, if you're using it with very fine glitter, it doesn't have that issue sometimes where I found with glitter adhesive on my lids, glitter will sometimes fall off because I've got like folds in my eyelids, and it kind of can feel like all bunched up and crunchy on the lid. I don't really find that to be an issue with the BYS glitter adhesive, because it almost is just like a very thin layer of gel that dries.
Right.
It almost is like a jelly face primer, but it purposely dries down tacky for the eye. I almost imagine it's exactly what the Milk Hydro Grip primer is like. It almost like gives that type of finish from what I've heard people describe the Hydro Grip primer like. It's like the Hydro Grip primer, but as a gel glitter adhesive.
I love the Hydro Grip.
So, well, I guess you can tell me what it's like compared to BYS when you get the glitter adhesive. But from what I've seen the Milk primer like, it looks like it's a similar type of product, but it's designed for eye. So, I mean, just imagine that, but as an eye glitter primer, and how well that would work. I'm almost tempted to try and use the BYS glitter adhesive as a face primer and be like, look at this cheap dupe for Milk Hydro Grip.
Right.
That's a YouTube video right fucking there.
Right.
Done. I'll have to do that. Watch my shenanigans trying this BYS glitter adhesive. Is it a Milk Hydro Grip primer dupe? And I love it, because if it ended up being something like it, or that is dupeable, I'm pretty sure the Milk Hydro Grip primer is like $60, $70 Australian for me. And
Probably.
then the BYS glitter adhesive is like $3. I'm pretty sure the Milk primer is like $30 or $40 American.
Well, I got mine again with my discount, so I think I paid like 28, so it's probably between 32 and 35, somewhere in there.
Yeah, which would bring it up to about $55, $65, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, I know, Christy. He's gotten too much. I told him he did too much. Even though I don't know what he got me, I know he got too much.
50.
That's okay. I got some good stuff for him too.
I think there's about like 30 or 40 makeup items that you get to play with in the whole box. Just a few.
I kept having to up the box size, and I had the right box, and then it's Cinnamon Toast Crunch. But I got another box, don't you worry.
No, thankfully, like I wouldn't have had anywhere near as much space if I didn't like take apart the exterior cardboard packaging like I discussed with you, because a lot of them came with like some fun packaging, but realistically it's not really necessary for the majority of them, as they were just like the basic cardboard packaging that most brands used to like hang up on like shelving units and stuff. But the few that had fancier packaging I've left alone.
Yeah, a couple things I took out of the aesthetic packaging because it just didn't make sense.
Yeah. And Christy, the majority of the stuff that Joe got for me as well, you guys in the US just will have the access to a lot of makeup on discount frequently. We don't in Australia. So I've just had to purchase everything for Joe pretty much full price. So it makes it difficult, and like I have no issues with doing so. I'm more than happy to do so. But like I discussed with Joe, I know some of the items that are in my box and they aren't cheap brands, and it's because Joe's been able to get them at an extreme discount. So like my issue was like, I don't want people superficially seeing that we're unboxing these things and haven't realized that, you know, Joe gets them at extreme discount, or they're samples that Joe gets and she's gifting them on to me. So it looks like it's a lot more expensive than it actually is for Joe. And realistically, I've probably spent more money than Joe has.
Probably.
Which, like, I don't care about. I'm fine. Like, I don't have anything wrong with that. It just is like superficially, I know, because like I know you've gotten me like an Hourglass product because you were able to get that at a discount, and you got me the Ace Beauty palettes like because you were able to get that at discounts. So and it's like I literally do not get those discounts, or at the very least when they happen, I don't have money. So, but we make do with what we get, and I genuinely have gotten you like a lot of products that honestly, I actually find them more interesting than a lot of these luxury brands in general, because knowing you were saying you love gimmicks. A lot of the more cheaper stuff go with the gimmicks because it's kind of the gimmicks that sell. And I mean, there are some pretty cute items that I got in there that I'm like, when I receive them, I've almost been like, oh, do I want these for myself?
Right.
But no, I thankfully have enough where I'm just like, nah, that's for Joe, and I know, and I purposely got them for you, and it's going to be great. And it's funny
I think
because
so too, Christy.
what was that? I haven't seen Christie's comment. There we go. Yes, I'd like to believe that we won't have anyone causing issues, because at the very least between us two, Joe and I know that there isn't like any weird shit going on, and that like
It's hard to do weird shit when you're in Tasmania and I'm in Tennessee.
more so like more meaning how sometimes people will like do a collaborative type thing like we're doing, but one person will rip the other off by like sending them only cheap shit, and then the other one sends
Oh,
like
I see what you're saying.
yeah, like I didn't want people to have that thought process of like they're seeing, okay, he's getting all of these high end brands that we know the names of, and then Joe's just having all of these brands we've never heard of. It's like, what? Like my concern would be people seeing that superficially, and either I don't really care if people are hating on me. I'd more so be concerned of people messaging you being like, you're a fool for sending him so much stuff.
Oh, I don't care. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, I know you don't care, but I'm like, I don't want people being negative or nasty for no reason without knowing the actual facts beforehand. And I mean, ultimately, we're making these videos for fun for us. And we know the truth, and that's all that matters.
Right.
And I mean, it's not like I literally only got you like dollar store makeup and that's all you're getting. There's literally like there is some expensive stuff in there. There isn't just cheap shit. Like I have gotten you multiple ranges of products.
I'm gonna love it all.
I'm hoping you are. I'm hoping you will, because I pretty much chose shades that I knew you like already, because I pretty much did a stalk of your Instagram profile, looked at different looks you've done, and chose products that are similar to colors you've already used. So I kind of use that as a judge of what you already use, plus also just talking to you.
Is it cold in Connecticut, Christy?
I was about to ask what CT is in Connecticut. I was about to show how ignorant I am, and I was going to say, is that Kentucky? But then I realized, no, that'd be KT, wouldn't it?
It's KY.
Or KY? At least I got the K.
Right.
What's MO?
What is what?
MO, just MO.
Montana, I believe.
Okay. And I'd assume then like Massachusetts would be like MA or something like that then.
Yeah, Massachusetts is MA, Maine is ME. Because I always used to get Massachusetts and Maine messed up.
We don't really.
MI, I think.
Yeah. In Tasmania, we pretty much we get all of the seasons, but we typically get 6 months plus of winter all the time. So our winter season usually starts in like February, March, and doesn't end until around October. So yeah, we usually
Oh,
spend.
MO is Missouri.
Ah,
Christy got us.
that's interesting. I wonder why MO is Missouri.
Montana must be MA. Montana. I'm showing that I suck at geography.
I mean, I don't really think it's, well, it is important to know the states, but like you guys have what, like 50, 51 that you have to remember the names of? It's like, yeah, fuck. We do have a few, but well, realistically, we have tons of little islands and territories in Australia. I believe we have like 700, 800 islands and territories in total.
Holy cow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but we only have like 7 or 8 main states, and that's Western Australia, South Australia, Queensland, Victoria, New South Wales, Northern Territory, Australian Capital Territory, and Tasmania. So 8. And that's our main ones. But then we've got, like I said, we've literally got hundreds of these other little mini islands and territories that are technically all part of Australia. Like Christmas Island is technically part of Australia, even though Christmas Island's more closer to Thailand than Australia. Okay, it's Massachusetts now from Connecticut.
Christy knows. She's smart.
See, ours in Australia are pretty easy to remember because they're usually just like the acronym of the name of the state. The only one that isn't is Queensland, which is QLD, but that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But the rest, like Western Australia, WA, South Australia, SA, Northern Territory, NT, Australian Capital Territory, ACT. Tasmania is just TAS. New South Wales is NSW. So it's like most of them are pretty easy compared to like, I feel like American ones can be a bit confusing. Because it doesn't do the whole thing where it's like an acronym of the first couple letters, or they will base it.
Oh, sorry.
Hi, Shelley. I was like, what the heck? What's going on? I heard some happiness. Hello, Shelley. How are you, Shelley? I keep on getting distracted at schoolwork. I'm still kind of stumped on this question.
That's fine, Shelley, as long as you're here.
What did Shelley say? I'm not seeing the. Oh, sorry, I'm late. No, don't say sorry at all. I usually go very early go live very early compared to you guys in the US. And not only that, the same time that I went live was the same time that Zach was going live at too. And I know he usually does go live a little bit later, but it just happened today it was a bit early. And plus, time zones are always a difficult thing to work around. I went live today starting at 9:30 a.m. and it's currently 11:56 a.m. It's about to be 12 p.m. midday. So, like, time zones can be so confusing. I'm good, Shelley. I'm doing some schoolwork or trying to complete some schoolwork.
I'm just hanging out and I'm doing great, Shelley. It's hard on these lives not to accidentally, I guess, step on somebody else's live because there's so many of us. Okay, Shelley, thanks.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably will rejoin his live when he ends up going live, Shelley, and if he's opening up the panel, I might go on his panel again because I always enjoy, like, it's fun going live when you're solo, whatever. Well, it's not fun, but it is much more enjoyable with other people. Definitely having, like, someone to bounce conversation off of in real time that isn't just text on screen.
You're glitching again.
Because while I do like interacting with people with the text on the screen, it definitely is much more enjoyable. Can you? Am I working now? Is there no internet? Oh my god. Oh my god. Is it okay now?
Oh, there you are. Okay, you're moving now. You are froze.
Sorry, my internet is deciding not to play the game. Isn't she just Christy?
Oh,
Isn't she
thanks,
just?
guy.
But no, I do. I was just sorry about that, Shelley. I was just saying I usually prefer being on a panel because it's much more fun being on one compared to just being on your own in a live. I was doing Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Shelly, have you heard from Nicole? Oh, thanks, guys.
I do not know why. It's the middle of the day and there's some dickhead down the road that's doing some donuts and revving his engine really loudly.
There was a really loud wreck at the end of our road today. It scared me. I was outside and all of a sudden it sounded like a bomb went off.
Oh, that's horrible. Hopefully no one injured themselves, or if anyone was injured, it was only the driver. I sometimes have no sympathy for drivers who are like being silly on the road, and like I hope that no one else gets hurt, but it's almost like I have no sympathy for the driver if they hurt themselves. It's like, well, you actively chose to drive like a fucking idiot and then you damaged yourself. It's like, well,
I never want anybody to get hurt, but I wanted to scare them enough where they don't do something stupid again.
Yeah, I definitely don't actively want them to hurt themselves, but I don't have sympathy if they do hurt themselves.
Right.
No, it's different if
talked to her. Oh, sorry.
No, sorry, you go.
I talked to her last night too, Shelly, but I haven't heard. She was online, and I tried to message her, but I haven't heard from her, and I know she didn't feel great, so I wanted to see if she was okay. Yes, they do drive stupid, Shelly. I really, really hate. I love you too, Christy. Bye.
Thank you, Christy, for coming along for the amount of time you did. More than appreciate it. Hope you have a good rest of your night. Yeah, the road, I can understand some road rage, but I also equally do not understand when you're in like traffic. Like we have a lot of issues, at least in Tasmania. So on our highways, we have like little drag strips. So most of our highways are 2-lane highways. And then at intersections, there's a third lane. But that third lane is usually designed that we have a lot of trucks that move along our highways. And that third lane was originally designed for trucks. So trucks could get in that third lane and slowly get up to speed and then merge back in. But it's not hindering the flow of normal traffic in the other 2 lanes. But normal traffic actually use the drag strip lane to try and get ahead of everyone, and it just causes more banking issues because, you've got people trying to cut in, which causes everyone to brake, and then the braking staggers, and it's a mess. So it doesn't work out.
We have a fast lane, and that's what people will do. We have the right lane, that's the slow lane. The middle is regular traffic. And then the left is the fast lane, and people will weave in and out of our slow to get around everybody. So I understand what you're saying on that.
Yeah, it can be ridiculous, and more so because we have, like I was saying, a lot of those roads are designed for trucks and such. So you're usually having to deal with scary trucks and such. Oh,
Oh, that sucks, Shelly. Bless her heart.
sucks. I don't know why people are like that. It's like, what's even the point?
That's what I don't get. I don't understand the point. Like, to go out of your way to just be mean, that doesn't make any sense at all. If you don't like something, then just get off the page or go somewhere else, or why actively be mean?
Yeah, I don't know, Shelley. It is sad. And I was hoping that like it's a shame I was on the panel at the time that comment popped up, because otherwise I just would have not mentioned anything at all, instantly deleted it, make it go, and I just would have been like, oh, nothing happened. But I sadly, on the panel, I had no access to the comments, and then also the fact I'm not a moderator for Zach at the moment, I wouldn't have been able to do anything. But I don't get it. I almost feel like send the hate to me, because it literally doesn't faze me. It's like, hate on me. Like, I don't care. Like, I genuinely do not care. I have been told, like, everything under the sun. It won't hurt me. It doesn't affect me. I don't care anymore. Like, I've seen and experienced things that make some grown men cry. So your little childish words picking fun at my appearance won't do shit to me. So bring it. Call me a egghead. Call me a browless freak. Call me a faggot. Call me everything. I don't care. Like, go for it. But to actively go out and be negative towards people, it says more about you than the person that you're being negative towards. It says thousands of words more. And I mean, I'm sure a lot of us could say, like, with our circumstances that have happened to us in our past, we'd be very justified in being much more negative people in terms of like going out and hating on people if we really wanted to. And it's like, I could very easily be a much more negative person than I am now, but I equally do not see any point and purpose in putting more negativity out into the universe. There's enough of that bullshit, and I'd rather be spending my time being nice. Like, I don't know about you, but it genuinely gives me a big grin and smile on my face when I see other people responding to comments that I leave on their videos where I've just given them a genuine like compliment on something. They're like, oh, thank you so much for taking the time to respond and to like watch my video. It's like, I'd much rather do that. Thank you, Shelley. I don't think of myself as like a good person or a nice person. I just don't see the point in being negative. I'd much rather spend my time being positive. Or, if I don't like something, I just don't say anything. I scroll on. I don't do shit. It's like, in my mind, like, what's the point? I've experienced enough bullying and bullshit in my life as a child. I do not want to be putting that out into the universe. I do not want to be actively participating in negativity. I've got better things to do in my time, like my fucking schoolwork, than to go out there and actively seek out people to talk shit about and leave mean comments. Like, really, what does it say about the person doing the negative comment leaving? It says a lot more about them, because we are not the sad little pieces of shit at home sitting behind their screen being anonymous, leaving negative, nasty comments. We are doing things with our lives, doing what we love and what we enjoy. And you're sitting there being a hateful piece of shit. Who's the better person, really? So,
I'm like, I don't know. I guess I feel like I'm always going to do my best to be nice. Now, I'm not going to lie. If you attack my husband, my family, my friends, or my pets, I can be a bitch.
oh, pretty much me too. I'm like, talk all you want about me. I don't care. Talk about my friends or anything else that matters to me. You're fucked.
Yeah, that's the way I am. I can take anything, but do not talk about my family and friends. I will get hot.
And I don't hold back either. I've probably been in some situations that I've made worse for myself because I don't hold back. But ultimately, I've gotten my point across, and I was the winner in the situation, really. So ultimately, you could kind of argue it works better in my case being vocal. But it's more so like it takes a lot to push me to the edge. But when I do, I've usually thought about things a lot beforehand. So when I go off, I'll give you like an extensive list of reasons why you're a piece of shit. So like
Same.
a lot of the time it gets to the point where like when I get angry, I will just rant, and it's like there's almost no like response that can be given to it. It's like, how do you respond to like 4 or 5 legitimate points being made about why it's a bad thing that you've done? It's like yeah, people can respond to name calling as shit every day of the week, and it doesn't really mean whatever because it's name calling. But it's like, what do you have to say to someone who is actually like not resorting to that, but is just like being very factual and to the point? And sometimes I feel like I'm almost a bit too cruel with it because I become so detached that I will just be like, there is no emotion. I'm not holding back. I'm just going to be nasty.
Yeah. I call it that I've blacked out. I haven't blacked out, but it's like my mind has given up everything and just fire dragon.
The barrier is just like gone. There's the barrier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I've got a lot of like British in me, and I also know I don't know how much people believe in like star charts and astrology, but when I've had my stuff done with like my sun and moon and ascending and stuff like that, apparently I'm an Aries with a lot of Aries tendencies. So like I have I have a large amount of passion for things I'm passionate about, and like I don't have a lot of other influences from other houses where it's like, okay, I do things differently. Like essentially I just go full gung ho. I have no holds barred. I go very like impersonal and just factual, but I go full guns blazing. And it's like, yeah, that pretty much explains me to a T why I don't like confrontation, but when confrontation is needed, I'm not a nice person to be confronted by.
Right.
And I don't like it. Like
I do that. I angry cry. I have angry cried. I get so mad, I cry, and then you better run because I'm fixing to beat the hell out of it.
I mean, I've gotten...
One, you've made me mad, and number 2, you've made me cry.
I mean, I've gotten in actual physical altercations because I'm just mouthy piece of shit and I won't back down. Like, I remember earlier this year, I got in a physical altercation because some guy nearly ran me down and I told him off for not giving right away to us. And he was getting all in my face, yelling at me. And I said, I'll throw my drink at you if you don't get out of my face. And he basically said, I dare you to do it. So I did. So I'm like, well, you told me to, my dude. Well, and you almost fucking ran me out.
If you step up to me and tell me to go ahead, I will.
And like, I'm never the person that if I threaten to do something or say I will do something, I'm not just saying it for the sake of saying it. I will like back up my words. I will go through with it, which has gotten me in trouble before because I will go through with things. Honestly, same, Shelley. I do not get it. And I've also seen as well that like a couple of times whenever I've gone onto Zach's lives or videos, there's people disliking Zach's videos or whatever as soon as it's going live. It's like why? Why are you actively going out to like thumbs down something or to be negative? Like I haven't really seen any negative comments on Zach's videos, and I don't know if that's just he's not getting them or they're being held for review or people are just deleting them. I'm hoping they're just not being left in general. But like, what's the point of going to someone's channel to just thumbs down? Like I get it. Like I've had a few thumbs downs on my videos, and I'm assuming it's just people that have watched it haven't liked the content or just haven't liked me because I'm either a male Australian combo of the two or a third. I just swear a lot or whatever the fuck. But like, I don't get why people feel the need to feel like they need to leave negative comments or to actively vocalize negative thoughts they have. I almost wonder, have they even thought of, if they were in that person's situation, if they would like having someone saying that to them unprovoked? As like, have you even thought of, if you were in this person's shoes, how you would feel? I feel like they do not have that much of a thought of what their actions have as consequences. Okay. I know, right? Isn't it so cool? I've just got like oh, Shelley, I actually late last night for me, early this morning for you, I posted my makeup collection video and I did my tour of it. It's a long video, it's like 33 minutes long, and I've got a little 4-tier drawer that rolls around like what she has. Hers has a lot more drawers. So my 4 drawers. So one drawer is like 2 of the drawers that you see that Joe's has. So I'm pretty sure Joe's has 8 different rows. Mine only has 4, and hers is double what mine is in size. Hi, birds. Yes, I know the birds are saying hi. I know, Shelley. I'm sorry. I even show off in that video the Urban Decay palette that I showed you on the live that has all the shimmers that you really like the look of. I showed that on camera too.
I got hungry.
What are you eating?
Everything seasoned cashews. They're like everything bagels.
Okay.
They don't have Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
They don't know what it is. Tell me about that.
No, I don't know. Hopefully one day. What was that? Sorry, Joe?
One of the things that I'm getting you, I mean, I'm putting candy in the box. But one of the things that I'm getting you, I actually have to go to Nashville, and I hate going to Nashville, but I'm going.
Don't, if you don't want to. Don't. It's not that serious.
The urge to get it is bigger than my hate of Nashville.
Love that, then. No, I was semi-disappointed. So one of the things that I'm getting for, well, not for you. His name is like out of my head right now. Little boy that I'm getting some stuff for in my box. There were some things that I wanted to get, and they're not the same as what I remember they were in the past, packaging wise. They still look cool. It was like yeah, we have these chocolates in Australia where the packaging has like Australian animals printed on the packaging, and they used to actually have the designs printed in the chocolate itself, but now they aren't doing the prints in the chocolate, which makes me sad, but the packaging still has the cool animals on it. So I plan on getting him some of them, so because I know he was saying he likes the thought of like Australian friends that you're talking to. I know shimmers are everything. Yeah, not like that though. I do love pork rinds.
These are homemade.
Oh, okay. I think we more so call them pork crackling here.
Yeah, some people call them that.
They're a little bit different.
They're a little bit different than crackling, but I mean they're pretty much the
A little
same.
bit flaky.
Oh, Shelly, have you gotten your Pat McGrath palette yet? I'm so excited for you to get it. I think I'm more excited for you to get it than if I'd have won it myself.
Honestly, I'm pretty much the same too. Like, yeah, it would have been fun to win the Pat palette too, but I know Shelley was talking about like her upset at the You Can Be palette that she has, where it's like the one shimmer, and she won Divine Rose. I mean, Divine
I know.
Rose, like Shelley. I hope you love it because like that is a beautiful palette. Like I don't own it, I want it.
Yay.
And you're going to rock it, Shelley. You're going to look even more beautiful than you already do. And you can try and argue against me saying that all you want. You are beautiful. You are beautiful.
You're going to love her shimmer formula. It
Oh.
transforms other colors.
Well, I was going to say it was one of her palettes that has not one of her normal shimmer formulas, but one of the actual like duochrome type ones. And I know Divine Rose has some beautiful, and even better, the Divine Rose is probably one of her more everyday neutral wearable palettes too.
Yeah.
So you can get very nice wearable looks with it and then just like add pops of color.
And the pan sizes are nice. It'll last Shelly a long time. What are you making?
Tuna sandwich.
Well, you discovered a great way to do it, Shelly, through a giveaway. But y'all, I love both of y'all so much, but I'm gonna have to get off here because I gotta eat, take a bath, and then try to be on when Zach's live.
Yeah, it's all good. I'm probably going to get off myself because I'm at 2 hours and 47 minutes being live. It's 12:20. I was going to do makeup, but like I said at the beginning, I had issues last night. My eyes were being irritated for whatever reason. Like I literally started having this eye get really sore, and then I was like crying for like an hour straight while my eyes were just being very watery the whole time, and it wasn't fun. So I decided not to risk making my eyes worse today by applying makeup, even though I wanted to, because another friend that I met through here, her name's Mary. She was going to, or her and I are going to do a little collab where we're using 6 eyeshadows from the Conspiracy palette, where we had to choose the 6 shadows for the other person.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I was going to do that today, but my eyes decided to not play the game. Oh, well, we'll see you guys.
Love
Thank
you,
you.
Shelly. Love you,
Yes,
James.
love you, Shelly. Love you to Joe. Thank you for joining me on here. We'll see you on Zach's Live.
Okay, bye.
Bye, everyone.